So I wanted to share with you a journal entry that I woke up in the middle of the night a few weeks ago at 3 a.m. and felt called to write all these things down, with everything that's going on in the world. And it was really powerful. I've been trying to find the right time to share it, and that time is now. And it's about everything that's going on with Black Lives Matter, and everything going on with the pandemic, and it's basically like a stream of consciousness kind of thing. So it kind of goes a little all over the place, but it does all connect and go together. I typed it up, so I edited some things, but I tried to keep it pretty raw and authentic. So I'm just going to go ahead and read it for you now. What does Black Lives Matter mean to you? Why is it so important? Because enough is enough. No longer can innocent people die because of the color of their skin. The question we can be asking ourselves is, how do we get here? And how do we change this forever? With so much loss from the pandemic, which hit the communities of color so hard, by the way, we know the value of life. Every life is precious. Every life has value. It does not matter the color of your skin, or sexual orientation, or gender identification, age, nationality, wealth, poverty, or any factor at all. Because we are all one. We are all in this life together. In the short time we have on earth, why are we going to spend it on hate, violence, and fear? One of the positives from the pandemic, regardless of any belief around the many facets of COVID-19, is that we learn the value of connection, to live in the moment, how to have compassion for our fellow beings, how to find ways to connect and care for one another from a distance. We learn not only how important our family and friends are in our lives, but how important essential workers, healthcare workers, grocery store clerks, warehouse workers, delivery workers, and more are for our lives. These strangers putting their lives on the line to care for people they don't even know. Many of these people are of different races, but probably most of them are actually people of color. We have spent the past few months praising the heroes who have been saving our lives, and there has been no talk of the color of their skin, just how amazing we are as humans coming together to be kind, to help one another, to have compassion towards each other, to just be there for support. One other factor of the pandemic that is a positive is the impact on nature. Less pollution because of less driving, no smog in LA, birdsong in NYC. The list goes on and on of the positive impacts that occurred with nature through the pandemic. The whole world got a reprieve, a collective moment to breathe and recharge. This is not about going back or returning to normal, because that normal can no longer exist. The changes that happen to us all cannot be reversed. When we see the value of preserving nature, the value of cultivating our own gardens, of taking time for ourselves, self-care is not just a recommendation, but a requirement in these times. We recognize the value of our family, but also of our fellow brothers and sisters. We learn the value of faith, that everything will be all right, that the universe and God will take care of us. We are being forced to look at ourselves, to find some sense of spiritual connection, whatever it may be. This paved the way for us to rise up, to accept the changes that are happening, to be the change that we are seeing all over the world. This is the ripple effect and connection between each and every one of us. Just like the connection in nature that is all one. In nature, the roots are not separate from one another. No plant or tree stands truly apart from one another. In nature, there is no judgment of color or size or shape. All the colors, sizes, and shapes blend together in perfect harmony. A bend in the branch or a crack in the tree are accepted just as much as beauty. When the sun shines, the rays wash through every leaf on every tree, taking its time throughout the day to touch each and every one. If one leaf isn't present, the other parts of the tree or the other trees will help to support it. This is like God's light shining down to each and every one of us. We are all part of nature, and like every plant, we all have our place living on this planet. Enough is enough. The time is now to take care of one another, to do the right thing, to take care of our planet, so our children and children's children can live together in harmony and thrive on this planet. Stand up for each other. Be kind to each other. Because we each know in our hearts that deep down, Black lives matter. I'm a white man in America, and I don't even know the full extent of that privilege. I didn't ask for it, but that is what I was born into in this life. Just like a person who is born with black skin or brown skin, or who is gay or transgender. They didn't ask for it, but it is who they are, and that is okay. I don't have a clue what it is like to be in a black person's shoes, or anyone else for that matter. I don't know what it's like to live in fear, to change life constantly just to survive, to have to be careful to not say the wrong thing to the wrong person at the wrong time, to not go out or not too late in certain areas. For a lot of black or brown people, that is just part of their life. It doesn't have to be. It should not have to be. They deserve to feel safe, loved, respected, honored as equal beings on this earth. I was raised to accept everyone for who they are, and as I grew up, I did. I have always had friends of color or who are gay, and I never saw them any different. When you are lined up with someone, none of that matters. I have always been comfortable with people who felt the same way, people who are loving, kind, and caring towards all people. One of my main values is to not judge anyone because I don't know their life situation, their upbringing, anything that makes them make the choices in their life. I've worked with so many clients that have had so many tough situations, chronically ill, chronically pain, issues of cancer, autoimmune, and loss, so much hurt. I don't know what it's like for each one of them. I know my experience, my pain, my illness, my loss, and I can have compassion and maybe relate on some level. But as long as I stay open and accept them for who they are, that is the first step for me being able to help someone. This can be applied to everyone, and we can all use this technique. To take a moment to look past our differences and see that connection that we all have. And it's not out on the surface. It's deep in here, in our hearts and our souls in our minds, in our spirits. And we can say, I honor the light in you. I accept you. I see our differences, but I don't judge you for them. Let's find a common ground. Let's find a starting point to get to the root cause of things, of suffering, of love, of good, of bad, of yin, of yang. Balance the darkness, balance the light. We are always connected. We are always one. The ego wants to trick us. The ego wants to keep us in judgment and fear and hate. And it's never more prevalent than this time that we're in right now. This divisiveness, this focusing on all this separation, all this judgment, whether you wear a mask or don't wear a mask, whether you're black, whether you're white, right? Whether you're gay, whether you're straight, there's so many variables they're not right. One's not right, one's not wrong. You know what I mean? It's all part of the fabric of life. And once we see that, lift that illusion and see the compassion that we all have deep down inside for each one another. This is what we all need. To shift this perspective, to see this perspective. And I'm not trying to tell you to do anything. I'm just sharing my perspective, but this is how I feel. So I honor the light in you. I accept you. I see our differences, but I do not judge you for them. Let's find a common ground. Let's find a starting point to get to the root cause of things. I'm saying this again, of suffering, of love, of good, of bad, yin and yang, balance of darkness and light, always connected, always one. Simple, but not easy. So why is everyone protesting? People are protesting to tip that scale, to bring balance once and for all, to stand up to do what is right, to love thy neighbor as thyself, to see the light in us all and value it just as the rays of the sun shine on all of the trees, shining equal light to each and every one. We are giving and receiving, pulsing like one heartbeat. This is what I call Gaia-centric healing, because Earth is at the center of everything we do, because we are a part of the Earth, breathing with that one heartbeat. And we must act like the Earth. When things die and fall away, they are honored, they are buried, and they may not ever need to become again. But some things rise from the ashes. Some things are reborn into something else. Like the phoenix turning into something beautiful after dying. Let's embrace this change from the darkness at this time in our history. Let's make 2020 the tipping point. So we rise up and we change once and for all. Ask yourself these questions and tell someone about it. Share your experience. Use your voice for change. Thank you for making the change, for picking a side, for making a choice to do what is right, because we can no longer stand by and look away. When we all come together and stand up, that's when the change occurs. And when people say all lives matter, that goes without saying. That's just what I just said. All life matters, right? Saying Black Lives Matter is all lives matter, because that's the whole point. They matter. We all matter. See the value. Make a difference. Teach your children. May we never commit these atrocities again. May we never commit these atrocities again. May we never go back to the way things were, to the normal. Let's keep the abnormal, the different, the unique, the cracked branch, the split tree. These are all the parts of you and me. We honor them and we honor you. Thank you.